Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Rottama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 21, Verse 32. Vinirdhuta Shesha Manomalam Puman Asanga Vignana Vishesha Viryavan Yadangri Mule Kritaketana Punar Nasamsrutim Kleshavaham Prapadyate. When a devotee takes shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Person of Godhead, he is completely cleansed of all misunderstanding or mental speculation, and he manifests renunciation. This is possible only when one is strengthened by practicing Bhakti Yoga. Viryavan. Vishesha Viryavan. Once having taken shelter at the root of the lotus feet of the Lord, a devotee never comes back to this material existence, which is full of threefold miseries. Na samsrutim, puna na samsrutim, kleshavaham, full of miserable conditions, this material existence. Kritaketanaha, so one who has taken shelter, mule, angri mule, yat angri mule. So one who has taken shelter at the root of the lotus feet of the Lord. A devotee never comes back to this material existence, which is full of the threefold miseries. So take shelter. So whole thing is about taking shelter. So first is one who has taken shelter, one has to take shelter. One who has taken shelter is completely cleansed of all misunderstanding or mental speculation, manifest renunciation. But this is possible only when one is strengthened by the practice of Bhakti Yoga. So this is what even Krishna says in the last verse of the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. How to overcome karma, material attraction, by spiritual strength. That spiritual strength comes by practicing Bhakti Yoga. As stated by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shikshastaka instructions. By the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Or by the process of hearing and chanting of the glories of the Lord, one's mind is gradually cleansed of all dirt. Due to our material associations since time immemorial, we have accumulated heaps of dirty things in our minds. So I was reading one more verse in Bhagavatam. Satsangan asatsanga hetavaha. Satsangan asatsanga hetavaha. Meaning one who by association of sat, pure devotees, asatsanga hetava, gives up unholy activities or asatsanga, not good association, unholy association. For him, actually, he can make progress. So because due to our material association, which is asat sanga, since time immemorial, we have accumulated heaps of dirty things in our minds. The total effect of this takes place when a living entity identifies himself with his body and thus trapped by the stringent laws of material nature and put into the cycle of repeated birth and death under false impression of bodily identification. Total effect of this kachada in our heart takes place when a living entity identifies himself with his body, that is, I am this body. So no idea of the soul, and thus entrapped by the stringent laws of material nature. Because when we think we are the body, then karma bandhana, then every action we do, we are bound. So then material nature captures us, and then there is cycle of repeated birth and death. Why? Under the false impression of bodily identification. So we are just thinking that I am this body. This is called moha. This is called false ego. When one is strengthened by practicing bhakti yoga, his mind is cleansed of this misunderstanding and is no longer interested in material existence or in sense gratification. See, please understand, everything that we are doing from morning till evening till night, every moment of our life, till we become serious in Krishna consciousness. The only interest is sense gratification. So every jiva, irrespective whether it is Manushya or Pashu, every jiva is only interested in sense gratification. Because that is the reason we have come here, to enjoy, independent of Krishna. So this sense gratifying propensity, this propensity to enjoy material nature, will remain till we become strong by practicing bhakti yoga, till our mind becomes strong. We will stop this misunderstanding. So how are we misunderstanding? What is our misunderstanding? Anybody?
We are this body.
Okay. And what happens because of that?
We start desiring for sense gratification.
Okay. What else happens?
We will
And
get
that
false ego.
Sorry.
We will get ego for because of that.
Okay. False ego. Okay.
Yours and mine's and sense gratification.
Sorry, Mataji.
Yours and mine's sense gratification.
Yeah. Okay. Sense gratification.
We
Your
we
and
don't know
mine.
our higher goal actually.
I
We
don't know
forget
our higher
about our
goal.
higher goals.
Yeah. Simply put, shochati kangshati. That's all. Whole life. I mean, that whole misunderstanding can be summarized as either aham and mama or shochati kangshati. Right? Whatever we see, we think it is me and mine. And then because we are so engrossed in this me and mine, we are thinking about shochati kangshati, meaning we are either desiring kangshati or shochati, lamenting, which is we are either in the past or we are in the future, right? This is the result of this misidentification. The result of misidentification is we can never be in the present first. And if we are not in the present, then bhakti yoga will not have effect, because bhakti yoga requires us to engage our mind in the present, isn't it? Why, in spite of us engaging in all these devotional activities, many of us have been practicing devotion for a few years now, the mind should have been actually completely cleansed of all nonsense. But why is it not so? Because we are not in the present. That is why Brahmabhuta Prasannatma na swachati na kangshati. Brahmabhuta Prasannatma. One who is actually come to the stage of Brahman, meaning he has realized that no, I am not this body, and nothing connected to this body is me, mine. Right? So why am I in this illusion? Let me come out of it. So he comes, so he remains on the platform of Atma, spirit. Meaning he just understands, okay, I am Atma, I am not this body. I'm suffering why? Because of everything connected to this body, because this body is Vyadi Mandira. Miserable body is the way by which body and mind, through which suffering comes to us, punishment comes to us. So Brahmabhuta, a person who is self-realized, he understands, oh no, I'm not this body. Okay, body is being troubled, mind is being troubled, yeah, because I've been in ignorance, I've lived an ignorant life in the past, I've lived a aham and mama consciousness in the past, so I've done nonsense to make myself happy. So I'm suffering the results right now, but it's okay. As I'm suffering, all the results are reducing, isn't it? Every day, every moment we suffer, karma phala is reducing. So devotee thinks, okay, fine, good riddance, all my karma phala is going. But of course, we don't have, there's so much of karma phala to suffer that actually we can't really think of. If you have to really go through all the suffering, then it's very difficult. So then the devotee then take shelter of Krishna. Krishna says, Am tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayasami. I'll take away all your karma. In fact, the time of initiation, like we were reading yesterday, all the karmani nirdhati kintu cha bhakti bhajam, all the karma phala is destroyed. So the process that has been given to us just by coming to bhakti, just by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, just by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, being in the association of satsanga devotees, pure devotees, etc. Actually, mind can become very cleansed. Mind can become very cleansed of all this nonsense, because by our own effort we cannot do this. By our own effort we cannot cleanse this mind. So very simple. Actually, Shastra says if we have serious problems in life, what should we do? What should we do if we have serious problems in life?
Serious bhakti.
Serious bhakti. Perfect. Answer to serious problems is serious bhakti. And if you do serious bhakti, then everything gets sorted. Because Krishna will come in control. We have messed up our life because we wanted to be in control, and we are seeing the result of us being in control is only chaos, is only suffering. So intelligent person will realize, okay, no, I'm going to give up my independence. I'm going to depend on Krishna. I'm going to follow the instructions of Guru. And that is serious bhakti. So if we do serious bhakti, then we get the strength. We get the mental strength to say no to nonsense. Isn't it? But we have to do very, very, every small activity or big activity in Krishna consciousness, we should do with full absorption, with full understanding that actually Krishna is present in every activity we are doing. Krishna is present, like we discussed the other day about chanting. If you are in the temple center, then Krishna is present in the form of photo or deities. If you are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna is present in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. If you are chanting Krishna's name, Krishna is present in the form of Nama. So Krishna is always present. By us being in the present, we will be in touch with Krishna. And being in touch with Krishna means is Purna Shuddha, Nitya Mukta. Purna Shuddha is fully pure. We also become pure. Our mind becomes cleansed. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. So we have to take shelter. Very, very important. Bhakti or devotional service is characterized by Vairagya and Jnana. Yeah, the other thing, Vairagya. Jnana refers to understanding that one is not this body, and Vairagya means disinterest in sense gratification. So nicely put. Jnana means that I am not this body. And since I am not this body, then why should I be interested in sense gratification? So automatically Vairagya. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojataha Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Gnanam Chayada Haitukam. Ashu Vairagyam. Immediately. These two primary principles of separation from material bondage can be realized on the strength of Bhakti Yoga. Can be realized. We can get this Jnana and Vairagya simply by the strength of Bhakti Yoga. Thus, when a devotee is fixed in the loving service of the lotus feet of the Lord, he will never come back to this material existence after quitting his body. Tyaktva deham punah janmana iti mameti. So, Arjuna, so we have to engage in loving service of the lotus feet of the Lord. Not we have it's Prabhupada has not written devotee is fixed in service of the lotus feet of the Lord. The word loving makes all the difference. So first, without loving, without the word loving, it is mechanical bhakti. And when there is loving, that is the real position. That is the real constitutional position. In this verse, the word Vijnana is specifically important. Gnana, the knowledge of spiritual identity that one attains when he does not consider himself to the body, is explained in Bhagavad Gita as Brahmabhuta, the revival of spiritual realization. In the conditioned state of material existence, that is when we are under the control of the modes, conditioned state, one cannot be spiritually realized because he identifies himself materially. So material modes, Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, they bind us till the time we think we are the body. Till the time we think and act on the platform of body, we are bound. The understanding of the distinction between material existence and spiritual existence is called jnana. After coming to the platform of jnana or the Brahmabhuta state, one ultimately comes to devotional service, in which he completely understands his own position, the position of the Supreme Person of Godhead. Brahmabhuta prasannatma na sochati na kangshati. Like I said, if one is on the material platform, then he is always sochati kangshati, desiring, hankering, meaning past, future. But when it comes to Brahmabhuta, he is not in the past, he is not in the future, he is in the present. And what does he become? Prasannatma. Prasannatma. He becomes very happy, happy soul. Samas sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. He gets devotional service. He comes to devotional service. Pure devotion. Of course, that is a gnana marg where one comes to knowledge and then bhonam janmanam ante gnanaman mam prapadyate. After many lifetimes, he comes to understand, oh, Vasudeva is everything. Then he comes to devotional service. By that time, he would have come to Brahmabhuta state. But for devotees who are engaged in bhakti, we are so fortunate. We don't have to do this bhunam janmanam ante. We don't have to take multiple lifetimes. All we have to do is simply follow the instructions, do bhakti, we'll come to Brahmabhuta. We'll come to the platform of realizing that I am not this body. This body is useless, not useless, it's useful, but it's miserable. This understanding is explained here as Vijnana Vishesha. The Lord says, therefore, that knowledge of Him is Vijnana, science. In other words, when one is strengthened by scientific knowledge of the Supreme Person of Godhead, his position of liberation is guaranteed. In Bhagavad Gita, science of devotional service is described as Pratyaksha-avagamam dharmyam, direct understanding by realization. Pratyaksha-avagamam. So bhakti is about realization. We can feel, we can experience Krishna's presence. We are not able to see him yet. That also will happen in course of time. But we are experiencing his presence. We are feeling his presence. We are feeling his protection. That is direct. It's not that I am experiencing Krishna's presence through you. No, I am experiencing Krishna's presence myself. So this is realization. That is why this is Vijnana. This is a science, not some theoretical class. But who can experience Krishna in their life? Who can experience Krishna in their life? One word answer.
Who is surrendered to?
Okay, one more word. Who has
Surrendered
faith?
by a Guru, sincere
Who has faith?
faith.
Who has faith? Krishna consciousness is all about faith. Please remember this. If we have the faith that yeah, Krishna is present with me, Krishna is present with us. If you think no, how Krishna can be present with me, and give some, some reasons for it, Krishna would say, okay, tatastu, I won't be there with you because you are giving so many reasons. You are trying so hard to make sure that I'm not with you. I will not be with you. So it's just a matter of faith. If Krishna is saying I'm present in the form of Nama, yes, Krishna is present in the form of Nama. Do I understand it? No. But do I have trust in it? Yes, absolutely. That's all that is required. Then we will experience Krishna. Then we'll experience Krishna's hand initially. Then we'll experience Krishna directly. By practicing Bhakti Yoga, one can directly perceive his advancement in spiritual life. See, this also is, we have to perceive advancement. It's like we should not talk amongst, we talk about amongst ourselves, saying that when is the last time we made progress in Bhakti? This kind of conversation is not like, what does advancement mean? Advancement means every day, every moment. Because we are doing bhakti every day, we should see advancement every day. How did we make progress between yesterday and today? Can we perceive? Can we recognize, identify our progress between yesterday and today? Something. There should be at least one thing between yesterday and today that we made progress. Isn't it? That is bhakti yoga. We can directly perceive advancement. If we are not seeing advancement, if we remain stagnant, then we have a serious problem. Why are we stagnant?
Because
Why
our
are we stagnant?
sadhana is not proper.
Yeah, because our sadhana is not proper. Simple. We are not doing what is expected out of us. Because if we simply do whatever has been process that has been given, then there's no way we cannot make progress. Actually, see, please understand this. We cannot point finger at the process. It's the most powerful because it's not different from Krishna. Prabhupada is saying in other practices like Karma Yoga, Gnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, one may not be confident about his progress. But in Bhakti Yoga, one can become directly aware of his progress in spiritual service, just as a spiritual life, just as a person who eats can understand that his hunger is satisfied. So simple. Prabhupada, right? Our false appetite, our false appetite for enjoyment and lordship of the material world is due to prominence of passion and ignorance. That's what people say, no? Be passionate about your job. Bondage. Either one is in passion or one is in ignorance. And that results in false appetite for enjoyment. It's false appetite because it's not going to actually fill us because we are Atma. But we are thinking I'm the body, and then we've developed this appetite for material enjoyment. By Bhakti Yoga, these two qualities are diminished and one becomes situated in the mode of goodness. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu. What is this? Bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Athat tamo rajas. Athat tada tamo rajas. What is that verse? Kameshwari Mataji on the class. You'll repeat. You'll say immediately. No. 1 second. Tada rajastamo bhava kamalaubayastaye chetayete ranaviddam stitam satve prasidati. So first canto Bhagavatam saying, right, when we do in Naishtika, when we engage in this Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, what happens? This Rajas and Tama, Tado, Tamo, Tamas and Rajas, they're destroyed. Tamas and Rajas, both qualities will get destroyed, which means passion and ignorance. And we come to mode of goodness. Sitam Satve Prasidati. Sitam Satve. Then he becomes situated in Sattva, pure goodness. Prasidati. He'll be pleased. That is Brahmabhuta. Right? Then Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Traigunya Vishya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. Gradually surpassing the mode of goodness also. So first we have to surpass passion and ignorance, then we come to mode of goodness, and then we have to surpass mode of goodness also. One is situated in pure goodness, which is not contaminated by material qualities. But the important question now is, in the whole day, how much time are we actually under the influence of the modes? And how much time are we actually under the influence of goodness or pure goodness? Hmm. What is the answer? For how much time are we situated in goodness or pure goodness? Very difficult to say, right? Ideally, we should be able to say that, okay, I'm engaging in bhakti activities for 3 hours in a day or 4 hours in a day. So for 4 hours, I am in touch with pure goodness. I've transcended the modes. We should be able to say that. And then what about the rest of the day? Rest of the day, yeah, maybe 7 hours, 6 to 7 hours, I'm associated with mode of ignorance. I'm sleeping. Then maybe 7, 8 hours, I'm associated with passion because I'm working. But that also can be changed if the results start getting offered to Krishna. And even though that period might be an influence of Rajoguna, it becomes transcendental to the extent of we giving our results to Krishna. To that extent, it becomes transcendental. So if you give 10% of our result, then 10% of that passionate time, the influence of that mode of passion is exempted, like that. When thus situated, a devotee no longer has any doubts. He knows that he will not come back to this material world. So when again, so doubt, meaning faith. So we have to understand that we have to mold our life. Prabhupada writes, we have to mold our life in such a way that we are always in Krishna conscious. We are always Krishna conscious. We have to mold our life. Then we have no problem because we are not then on the bodily platform at all. Then there is no suffering. And then our life, our goal is clear, our activities are clear. Then we will achieve that. First, we will achieve happiness in this material world, not material happiness, spiritual happiness. Can somebody just simply describe, very easy to understand way, what is the difference between material happiness and spiritual happiness? Very easy to understand definition.
Material happiness is temporary.
Okay. But what is it? I'm asking, what is material happiness?
Okay.
What is
It is
spiritual happiness?
cessation of suffering only. It is neutral level.
Okay. 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 Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
With the senses, we feel like, the happiness is material.
Yeah, material happiness is just associated with material objects. Spiritual happiness is coming from spiritual association. So on material objects, then you can say, okay, material objects are temporary, blah, 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 all that, right? But basic difference is that it is coming because of contact of material objects. It's all material. Material happiness is material. So it's not real. Spiritual happiness is real because it's permanent. So we should not be hankering for material happiness. I saw a lot of devotees still come to me and say, I have a lot of material problems. How can I fix them? But what are we going to get by fixing those material problems or whatever, right? Getting some whatever job, some increment, some promotion, some this, that. What are we going to get? What will you get from that? We're only going to get material happiness, isn't it? Unless the reason you want that is that, somehow then if it is being dovetailed in Krishna consciousness and that it is going to help increase your bhakti, then it is spiritual happiness. But if it is directly just mitigation of material problems or some increase in some material whatever possession, etc., that's possibly just going to give you material happiness, which is anyway temporary. and which is also no guarantee that it's going to remain, because that depends on our karma phala. So that's why Krishna says, why are you bothered about this temporary, dream of happiness? Just come to me. You can experience real happiness, Sachidananda. So devotee, when one is situated in that, he knows, I don't want to come back to this material world, useless. He doesn't want to come back also. And he will not come back because he has no doubts. That, yeah, Krishna, I am eternal, Krishna is eternal, my relationship with Krishna is eternal. And that is the source of real happiness. Yayatma suprasidati. Yeah, Atma suprasidati. We have to talk about Atma happiness, not senses happiness, not bodily happiness, not mental happiness. That's another problem. Mental happiness. No, we don't want bodily happiness. We don't want mental happiness. Of course, if it is there, it's fine. It's bonus. Right? But really what we want is happiness of the Atma. Ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. When one is engaged in ahaituki apratihata bhakti, when it is no cessation, no obstacle, no reason, ahetu, no cause or no intent or no selfish interest to do bhakti, just pleasure of Lord, and without cessation, continuously. And continuously doesn't mean that we give up our responsibilities in Grihastha ashram. We do our responsibilities, but that is also for just pleasure of Krishna. Okay, I have a responsibility to take care of your ashram, which is this house. So I'm a servant here, and you've given me the responsibility of earning livelihood for this house. Okay, Krishna, I'm engaged in your service. That's all. That is also completely Krishna conscious, because if it is being done for Krishna, it's Krishna conscious. Such a person will not come back to this material. But we can't expect some magic to happen. Last moment of our life, something will happen, some magic will happen. Magic can also happen. Krishna can do magic, Krishna's devotees can do magic. But why should he do magic? He wants us to go through the process naturally so that we are completely convinced without doubt. Why? Because when we are going through problem, trouble, suffering, do we still want Krishna? That's what Krishna wants to see. When you're going through trouble, if you want, no, Krishna, yeah, if you're there, it's okay. But yeah, please, this material problem. Krishna is saying, okay, still there is time for you. Do sadhana a little more. So we should, I'm not saying that we should not be free of material miseries. Yes, we can try. But that also no guarantee if we do by our own effort. Only if Krishna shows mercy. Sarva dharman parityaja. And Krishna is saying, just come to me. Simply come to me. Don't think. Just like children. So, they simply depend on parents. Right. So we have to be like that. Just depend on Krishna, do our duties, but focus on Krishna consciousness, improving, progressing in bhakti. Then we will experience real happiness. Then we will see like those devotees jumping, full of so much happiness. Just look at all their faces in that video that I play. All faces are so happy. So happy they are. Even if they're hearing from Prabhupada, they're happy. If they're doing kirtanam, they're happy. Everything they're happy. That is the happiness that bhakti can give, which is not dependent on any material situation. Happiness, real happiness is not dependent on any material situation because it's not material. Okay, let me stop here. Any comments? Comments, questions? No comments. Okay, we'll close here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Mataji.
Prabhuji, like you said that, okay, bodily discomfort, yes. you can understand, but what about mental discomfort? You said you should go beyond that to if you're mentally disturbed, Prabhu, even doing your spiritual activities become very, very difficult. You get in, when you're in depression or get into depression, it doesn't, your spiritual, whatever spiritual activities में पहले ही इतना ध्यान और ये नहीं रहता, and into depression, it's so mentality is very, very important. You need to be happy then.
Okay, anybody wants to comment on this? Any thoughts? That we have to be mentally sound, mentally good, mentally happy. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Any thoughts?
I just wanted to add. See, Prabhu, many a times you've seen, like when there is distress, there's untimely death, and if there's a lot of suffering, instead of getting more attached to the lotus feet of Krishna, many of them break away from him. But like, kya fayda, even devotees, even karmis, and then, they say, like you're having one life, let's, jo hota hai, jo hona hai, let it go. So it's both.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Anybody?
Yeah, initially it happens, but it is a sign of too much attachment to material body.
Okay. Good. Okay.
Actually, whenever someone comes into KC, immediately he gets into a lot of trouble. To create more seriousness, some arrangement is made by the Lord.
Okay. Good. Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
So whenever feel like dissatisfied or sad, first it is because of the sense, then from the sense, mind is getting it. Then we should realize that I am not this body and so like clear cut, like it is happening to the mind.
You're a gnani, Shashank. Okay. Okay, good. Yeah. Analysis. Paka on the platform of knowledge. Yeah. So all of them are correct, right? So see, we have to understand saying that the question was saying mind being happy. No. Okay. Let me rephrase the question for everybody, right? So can we expect mind? Can our progress in bhakti depend on the state of our mind? Or should our progress in bhakti depend on the state of our mind?
No.
Okay. So then what do we do when our mind is disturbed?
Try to bring mind back to Krishna.
No, but try to bring mind back to Krishna. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. So see, basically our Shashank.
Hankering for Krishna has to be
Okay. Very
encouraged.
nice. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. So see, basically the point is that we are in a diseased condition, right? When we are in jaundiced, when we have jaundice, we nothing is going to give us taste in the mouth, right? I mean, we are eating sweet, we are drinking sugarcane juice, and we can't just feel any taste in the mouth, right? Now if I say that I'm going to only drink eat sweet or drink sugarcane juice after I become cured, the whole point, because when I'm drinking sugarcane juice, it's super bitter, right? If I say no, it's so bitter, I can't drink it. I'll drink after I get cured. But the problem is that is the cure. That is the cure, right? So mental well-being is a illusion because that is the diseased condition, and the cure is bhakti. So if you think that I'm going to do bhakti only when my mental condition is okay, then we are preventing the cure, right? We are not taking the cure. So mind should not be, we should not give importance to the mind at all. We should just not give it any importance. All we have to do is simply engage in the practice of bhakti. That is the reason we need to read Prabhupada's books again and again. We need to associate with devotees who are strong in mind. Because there's no way. I mean, if we just wait for our mind to become happy or pleased or satisfied, that's not going to happen. Only when the mind is controlled can mind be happy. There is no other way when mind will be happy, because mind is always unhappy in this material world. Because it's hankering or lamenting. It's just, that's the work of the mind, right? It's either hankering or lamenting. Why will mind be happy? If somebody who doesn't have any problems, what is his mind doing? If a person doesn't have any problems, what is his mind doing? His mind is hankering. Now he doesn't have any problems, so he's wanting more. If I have problems, then what is the mind doing? Lamenting. So how can you expect mind to be in any kind of sane situation to help you do bhakti? So bhakti is independent. It's not dependent on material conditions. Krishna has given us facilities, which is, what do we need for chanting Hare Krishna? Mouth and ear. Krishna has given these two. It's in functioning order. That's it. Done. No other prerequisite. So our bhakti should never depend on our mental condition. We have to, yeah, and when I say we have to push ourselves, we have to just, that is why sadhana bhakti is about discipline. You know, when there is discipline, there's no question of like or dislike. It's just about, okay, this has to be done, this has to be done. That's it. And when we put ourselves through this kind of disciplined process of bhakti, that is serious bhakti. Automatically in course of time, mind will come under control. Then we can tell the mind, shut up, don't bother me. Or no, mind will become friend, then he will only think about Krishna, feel for Krishna. Then no problem. Yeah, Prabhu.
So I remember once I had a workshop by Mahatma Prabhu on chanting. So he said you have to really come out of your mind in order to chant.
Yeah.
So
Don't live in the mind. Actually, I tell even those who are troubled, don't live in the mind. Live outside the mind. Live in the Atma. Right? We are always living in the mind. Meaning mind is feeding things and we are just living there. We should understand mind is crazy. You know, because it is not based on any logic, right? It's just materially attached, and on that platform it's accepting, rejecting things. It's not going to give us any happiness.
yeah, and also Prabhu, my observation, my realization is that the more you pay attention to mind, more it disturbs.
Yeah, just like a child. Yes,
Yeah.
very good.
So
Yeah.
I think it's better to leave it alone, then slowly it will subside.
Yeah.
That
I
is
mean, it may subside, it may not subside, doesn't matter. As in, I'm saying, see, the point is, don't bother too much about mind, and don't make mind become an obstacle in bhakti. Just do bhakti. That's all. Right? It doesn't matter whether mind is in good shape or bad shape. Same thing with the body also. Whatever extent possible, just push, do bhakti. Yeah, Shashank Prabhu, you want to say something?
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Like it is one of in our Vijayanagar Satsanga, Prabhu, which you said. I remember with respect to mind, you mentioned mind is like a restless monkey, like some 2 to 3 weeks back, I think, where if we sit also, it will be keep lamenting about past. Okay, if we stop lamenting, it will be thinking about future. Even if future is also, and it will be thinking about the present. So it is like a restless monkey you had mentioned in class.
Yeah,
So
like a restless
just wanted to.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Anybody? Okay. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vansa kalpatarubhishta kripa sindhu bhavato patitana Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Pranam,
Krishna,
pranam to
Pranam.
everybody.